Our next project will highlight the Identity Management Project, or as we call it, the Fischer implementation. Joining us today are Project Manager J.B. Dunn and Subject Matter Expert Ed Rines. Off to you guys, J.B. and Ed.
Thank you, John. Welcome, everybody, back to Projects Live. I'm J.B. Dunn.
And I'm Ed Rines.
I'm the project manager for the Identity Management Project, and Ed's our subject matter expert. And today we're going to talk about the Identity Management or Fischer implementation and bring you up to date on what we've been doing so far. So just a reminder that identity management is authenticating identity. It validates that you are who you say you are when you log into the systems. And it keeps track of your roles in the university, right, Ed?
That's right. The identity management system, it holds all the information about who you are, what you do at the university, and combines all that together to allow systems to decide whether or not you should have access to a given service.
And so the project, if you'll recall, has a couple of primary sets of deliverables. The implementation includes the third-party service providers doing their authentication to the university environment. And then Ed is going to tell us more a little bit later about the actual systems provisioning that we do internally. But let's look first at the service providers and those folks that do that provide services to the university that we help authenticate identity. So we've been doing the work to get the test environment put into place, and all of the end-to-end testing is now configured and operational, and the technical folks are putting into place the necessary systems of authority that will be tested across the Fischer platform. And then they're going to begin doing more of the testing on the Fischer systems itself. So the next step for the service providers will be to get the IDP, or the identity database for the providers, established on the Fischer test platform. And then we'll begin doing some testing and exercising some of the test sites that we've put together in order to make sure things behave the way we expect them to. Once it's validated that the testing is working as it needs to, then the production version of the Fischer IDP will be put into place, and we'll begin migrating service providers to use that production platform. So that takes care of the third-party partners that we work with here at the university, but we also have our internal systems. Ed's going to tell us more about how we're doing on the provisioning for those internal systems.
Okay. The internal systems, we're currently working on getting the target systems like LDAP and Active Directory and all that hooked up to the Fischer project. We've got the test systems currently engaged, and Fischer has been successful in connecting to them. Our next step is to begin getting the data feeds that we usually get from HCM and SIS and various other places throughout the university over to Fischer so that they can start digesting that information and then using that to provision the test systems. We're just at the beginning stages of that, but things seem to be going fairly well. Once the systems have been tested and we've got the data worked out, we'll begin moving that into a production system, and then we'll move on from there.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, Ed. So that kind of sums up the progress we've made on both of the primary deliverables for the project. Just to review, we're going to be testing and validating that the service providers are prepared to be migrated to Fischer, and then we'll begin the actual migration of the service providers. And then we'll turn on to more attention on the provisioning side.
Yeah, then once we've finalized the provisioning design and Fischer has built out the solution, we'll begin the acceptance testing and make sure that everything they're processing is processed correctly so that identities are created the same way they are currently created.
And that'll bring us back to our next update a month from now. When that opportunity comes, we'll be back here on Projects Live. For now, if there's any questions that have come in while we've been reviewing the project, John, have we gotten any questions from the audience?
Thanks, JB and Ed. One question we received was, can you talk a little bit about what potential changes to business process may be expected as we kind of work through this project?
Initially, there shouldn't be any changes. This phase of the project is just to re-implement what we currently have. So we hope to not have to have any changes occurring as we go forward. Once this is completed, we will move on and then start looking at what makes sense to change and whether or not we can come up with some better, more efficient business processes, and we'll work with people to migrate or improve their business processes that way, but that's down the road a ways.
That's part of the advantage of the new Fischer hosted solution, isn't it, Ed? It gives us more flexibility and adaptability to respond to the changing needs of the university. A large part of the reason why the university's decided to use the services of a vendor as opposed to managing a lot of that ourselves, isn't it?
Yes, yes. Mm-hmm.
Well, I think that's probably about all we have time for today. Again, thanks for your questions and attention, and we'll be back to update you again as the project continues to progress. Thank you.